Hey, it's Fleming Geek Media here. I am Jerry the Geek. Today we're going to talk about the 4K of The Last Starfighter. But before we get into that, if you like physical media, if you like 4Ks, Blu-rays, even DVDs, check out my other videos on my channel because I do reviews, discussions, collection updates, unboxings. Check that stuff out. Like, subscribe, and turn your bell notifications on. So let's talk about The Last Starfighter on 4K. The movie originally came out in 1984, PG. Has Lance Guest, Robert Preston, Catherine Mary Stewart, and also directed by Nick Castle. I completely forgot about him. I was like, why do I know that name? I was like, what? Nah, it can't be. He's the one that played the Shape in the original Halloween, and he came back for the new trilogy. So I was like, well, I couldn't believe it was him. He actually directed some movies, quite a few actually. The movie definitely has I don't know if it's aged well or not. For when it was made, and then looking at it now, it is pretty. It's not as cheesy as Battlestar Galactica, but it's got this really crude CGI. That was early infancy of CG at the time, and some scenes that CG looks god awful, man. There's a scene where they're flying through the caves, and I just had, oh my god, what the fuck am I watching? It looks so terrible. It reminds you of when watching bonus features, how they make CG, some of the early animatics they do, the really crude animations. That's what this looks like, but it's final. But the story, if you haven't seen it, he basically got this kid, he's living in a trailer court that's kind of managed by his mom. He's kind of fixes things for everyone. He wants to get out of town, make a life for himself. He's really addicted to this arcade game called Starfighter. And because he beats the game and they come and they actually gets recruited to go out into space and join this legion of starfighters. After all these years, it's still, talking about, 40 years old. It's still a pretty good movie. It's not the greatest in the world, but it's still pretty good. It's entertaining. Now, this 4K comes from Arrow. It just came out last year. The movie was originally shot in 35mm, has a 4K digital intermediate, HDR10, and Dolby Vision. And this thing looks phenomenal. You wouldn't expect any less out of Arrow. They do a phenomenal job here, as always. Great, clear pictures. It still has that grain structure to give a lot of depth to it. But it just definitely looks really cleaned up. It looks incredible. The details, the depth is really there. Textures, the colors really pop. Everything is really nicely saturated and without being overdone. It has a really natural look to it, but also, the pops of color like the reds, blues, and greens really leap off the screen. The blacks are nice and solid. Some of the outdoor shots in the daytime can tend to look a little soft, but it just might be just the way they filmed it. But even then, it has a lot of depth in the textures. Everything is really there. Now, as far as a Blu-ray comparison, this does not come with a Blu-ray, and I've never owned this on physical media, so I have nothing to compare it to. So here, check out some screenshots of the 4K. Then we'll come back and talk about the audio, packaging, and the bonus features. We'll see you in a couple minutes. So for the audio, they gave us actually 3 audio tracks here. All 3 are DTS DC Master Audio. They got a 5.1 track, 4.1 track. The 4.1 was originally created for the 70mm release, and it was also a 2.0 stereo track. I did watch the entire movie in the 5.1. A couple times I switched it over to the 4.1 and 2.0, and they're not as good. They're still clean, nice clear dialogue. They just the 4.1 track, I thought there would have been a little bit more to it, but the dialogue wasn't centered from the center speaker. It was kind of off this, across the front sound stage. So I really enjoyed the 5.1 track. It had a really nice ambience to it. There's not a lot of use in surrounds, just a little bit. Some nice channel separation. It's nice, well balanced across the front. What really kicks in with the surrounds is the music score. It was done by Craig Safan or Safan. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I forgot how good the music score is on this thing. This is definitely a favorite of mine after hearing it. I need to pick this up on CD sometime. I really like it. It's kind of a mixture of Star Trek and Indiana Jones. It's so freaking pleasing. And there is some nice low-end bass at a couple times. Not a lot. Mainly there's a couple the scenes where they're on the ship with Zur. They're just some nice subtle bass around the backs. So you just kind of feel it a little bit. But nothing overpowering. A lot of nice subtle sounds here and there. So this is a great audio track. Again, I talked about in the past, some of these older movies, they don't get a good mix. They did a really nice job here. But nothing you're not going to show off your system with it, but it's a pleasing track. Now for the packaging, we got the slip cover here. And we'll slide this puppy off pretty snug. Standard European keep case, the thick case. And open it up. We've got really nice artwork in the 4K. And we got this nice booklet. We'll take this out for you. And it's got just all kinds of production info stuff on it. A lot of pictures. Actually, how many? Got about 38 pages. So quite it's a nice little booklet here to go through. And also we got a reversible cover art, which you won't see a lot. Sometimes Arrow and Shout will get. So we've got some of the original art here and the new artwork as well. So that's pretty nice. Now for the bonus features, we've got quite a bit here. We got some, a lot of archival stuff poured over from the older releases, and we've got some newer stuff as well. But to start with, we got 3 audio commentaries. We have one of those is with Lance Guest and his son Jackson Guest. Also, we have another commentary with Mike White of the Projection Booth podcast. And we got another archival audio commentary with director Nick Castle and production designer Ron Cobb. Then other featurettes, we have Maggie's Memories revisiting The Last Starfighter. And we have Into the Starscape, composing The Last Starfighter. Incredible Odds writing The Last Starfighter. Interstellar Hit Beast creating the special effects. Excalibur Test inside the digital productions. Greetings Starfighter inside the arcade game. Heroes of the Screen, it's an archival featurette. Also, we have Crossing the Frontier, the making of The Last Starfighter. Theatrical and teaser trailers. So again, a lot of stuff to go through here. So to wrap it up, this is a nice solid release here from Arrow. Like I said, with Arrow's reputation, it lives up to what they always put out. Is incredible. Again, I've never owned this on Blu-ray, so I'm not sure how it compares with the Blu-rays out there. But you can get this. It's still on sale. I just picked mine up for $24.99. So if you're interested in it, jump on Amazon, snag it on sale. So that pretty much does it for my take of the 4K of The Last Starfighter. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and we'll see you soon. Geek out.